Greetings, everyone, and welcome to 4Point Pathways, our podcast. Today, very special. We're doing an actual live interview. I've got Aimee Trusler here from Conexio. Conexio is one of the partners that we work with. They do a lot of stuff around Adobe Experience Manager, specifically around sites, analytics, and stuff like that. So welcome, Aimee. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Really appreciate it. It's our first time in Ottawa, so we're showing them around to all sorts of different things. So I hope you're finding it okay here.
It's been great. I've definitely been spoiled with the hot weather, but I'm very much enjoying myself.
You've come at the right time.
Yes.
It's in the summer, not the winter. Although it gets you out on the canal.
Yes, I actually haven't yet, so I need to take a walk there.
There you go. So what we wanted to talk about is just to understand, what Conexio does. Can you give me some background on Conexio, the kinds of services that you provide to organizations, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Conexio, we are a customer experience management agency. So we are 100% focused on Adobe technologies, so the Adobe Cloud suite. So we are specialized in AEM sites. We work with Adobe Commerce, which was formerly known as Magento, Adobe Analytics, Target, Campaign, and Adobe Experience Platform as well. So what we do is we work with our clients to essentially bring meaning to the thousands of touch points that they have with their customers. And we really just help them to create meaningful experiences with them. So all of our talent is based out of Latin America. We work almost exclusively with North American companies. And yeah, that's really what we do.
Nice. So you mentioned meaningful customer experience. So tell me about an interesting situation, an interesting organization or a project that you got involved with where you were dealing with their challenges and doing something unusual.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things come to mind. Just need to focus my thoughts on which one I want to bring forward. So one of our biggest clients that we work with, they are a tech company. And we work a lot with them on really understanding the data that they have on their clients. So we speak a lot about data, about personalization. What we've done is we've built in-house within their platform, their SaaS platform, a personalized demo experience. So we essentially have leveraged the data that they have on their customers within the platform to actually create a demo experience of their product that is unique to the user based on the information that they have. So this has been really exciting for us to really understand the power of personalization, because we see the increase in conversion rates from those demos whilst using personalized data versus what they had in place before. So it's been really eye-opening for us and a really exciting
So
experience.
Instead of a generic demonstration, here's this screen and here's a fake screen over here and a fake screen over here, you're actually dynamically changing it based on who's watching it?
Yeah, and so what they've done is they've leveraged certain key KPIs or touch points that their marketing team has pre-selected for each profile. And what we've then done is created those personalized demos. So when that user comes to the website, based on their interaction history and the data that they use historically, and the way that they interact with the site, we create personalized demo from there as well.
Wow.
Another example of that, again, utilizing data to personalize an experience. We work with one of the biggest fitness brands in North America. Well, they're actually global. And they have access to tons of data from their users. So in-studio data points of how the workout actually went. So, the heart rate, the way that the user interacts within the gym, wearables and merchandise that they sell on their website.
Right.
And what they do is they leverage that data to actually create personal experiences. So a great example of that might be sending a push notification to that user after their last workout to recommend something within the gym based on how they performed in their previous workout as well. So I think that's amazing. I personally have been meaning to get to the gym for about a year now, so I think if I had push notifications that was telling me to get in there, that would definitely help.
Yeah.
It's actually a really great example of where forms could be used while I'm thinking of this client. To increase we've been working with them on their lead booking workflow to increase conversion.
Right.
So where do their users fall off from the booking process? What is it about the forms that they're using right now, or the process, let's say, because manually they need to go to the studio to sign the form at the end.
Right.
So where are their users dropping off, and how can they use the data that they already have on that user to actually increase conversion rate on the booking form and make that simpler and frictionless? So a lot of really, really exciting things that we're doing with our users.
Yeah. You mentioned Adobe Experience Platform, and I know that that's a key driver for a lot of people. A lot of people are dealing with that challenge of that large volume. Can you speak to Adobe Experience Platform and how you can help organizations with that?
Yeah. So Adobe Experience Platform is still relatively in its early stages of how companies are utilizing it. I think probably there are a lot of organizations that don't understand the full potential.
Right.
We are heading into a world that third-party data doesn't exist. So having access to real-time data and really leveraging that information that we have is going to be imperative to standing out. So I think the key takeaway from Adobe Experience Platform is not waiting to see what trends come, but really getting ahead of them now before that boom happens. So one of the clients that we work with, again, the tech company, we have already started playing around and profile stitching the data that we have in-house within the sandbox to understand, okay, what data profiles do we want to start building out? Who do we want to start targeting? And what personalization needs to happen in order to actually see results there? And doing it now while it's still sort of low scale and not blowing big leads with efforts that perhaps might not be as effective in the future. So taking the time now to really understand the power of that and pushing those initiatives forward.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of confusion around the issues of profile stitching and that, and how it relates to that customer journey. Can you talk about the challenges that you're seeing inside the organizations you're dealing with around customer journey and the management of the customer journey?
Absolutely. So the biggest challenge, I think, is really, well, there's two things that come to mind. Centralizing that data. So when we think about organizations right now, I read an article the other day that said the CMO role, so the role of a CMO in a company, it's one of the hardest to find, but it's also the role that has the highest turnover. So that position changes all the time.
Yeah.
The underlying impacts of that is that you have then a marketing team and a sales team and a product team without clear guidance and a lot of efforts being pushed towards marketing things, and they're sort of lost out in the middle of nowhere now, right? So the biggest challenge there is really centralizing the data, and that's where AEP and having a great CDP comes into play, because having one centralized and true source of data for all teams to leverage means that we're merging all of those customer interactions and you have a clear picture of your ideal customer profile. The problem obviously with that is I think data has become a really scary word to a lot of people. They start to think about, like, what data do I have on my customer? What am I allowed to collect? What am I not allowed to collect? And you already have so much data that you're entitled to access to. Your clients and your customers have given it to you freely. So I think it's about taking a step back and not going, oh, what are we going to do with all of this? Look at what you already have in-house, clean it up, enrich it, centralize it, and start working with what you already have. And keep in mind to have those meaningful conversations with your customers, because that's where you get the real data, when you're actually interacting with them. And we are really lucky that we get to be embedded in the teams of a lot of our partners, so we get to really see the problems that they're facing hands-on, and we can sort of build the data of the customer that way.
So tell me a little bit about that, how you would work with an organization. So you talked about being embedded in there. So how do you help these organizations through this process, and what kind of things can you do to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a key thing about Conexio is that we are 100% focused on Adobe. So we are experts and specialists in everything that we do, very similar to 4Point and Forms.
Exactly.
And that's what makes our experience and the way that we work with our clients really impactful, because we aren't trying to do too many things at once. We know what we're good at and we get in there and we do it. So we really love when we can get our hands dirty with our clients, get in there with the project, actually advise them and help them understand the problems that they have. So a great example of this is our Adobe Analytics team going in and helping them actually make sense of the data that they have and working with that. From an AEM side or a service design side, we can actually work with them to build out journey mapping and customer journeys from their client side to understand how to start building and developing new projects as well. We aren't just staff augmentation, we love to be deeply embedded in the teams of our clients and working with them on strategy too. We have years and years of experience, and that's where we really shine, when we get to be a part of their team and help them understand their problems and grow.
Yeah, I'm real familiar with that. That's exactly what we're trying to do, is to get in there and start showing them this is what you can do, right? And that's what you're doing is you're going in, you have all this data, here's what you can do with all of this data. So many organizations don't understand the possibilities of what they've got on there, and all they need is a bit of guidance.
And asking the right questions. I think I like to take the same methodology of the way that I work with a client is the same advice that I give to them on how they should be working with their customers.
Yeah.
It's just ask the right questions. If you do anything with genuine intent, you will get the information that you need to succeed. And I think that's really important is everything we do with that integrity and that will to want to help the client really.
Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. I'm sure it's been incredibly valuable for our audience.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thanks, guys.